I am very fortunate to be joined by wrestling royalty. Yes, I said it. Coming from the Hart Dynasty herself, Natalya. Natalya, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you so much for joining today. I really appreciate it. I wasn't sure if we were selling your home today or if you were just coming in for an interview, but either way, I'm here. I'm here for it. Of course, the WWE is making its return to Ottawa this summer, this August. We're all very excited for it. And I wanted to take a few moments and talk to you about what people can expect from the show, but also from your legendary career. Not to embarrass you, but I don't know if you are aware of the fact that you do hold a couple of Guinness World Records. Let me list them out for you here. Most appearances on pay-per-view for a female WWE superstar. That's you, by the way. Most matches for a female WWE wrestler, and most wins by a female WWE wrestler. So congratulations on that. I am not in the Guinness World Records for anything. So between the two of us, we hold 3 records. So I think that's amazing.
Well, and I found out I have a few more world records.
Oh,
I have
okay.
most women's ladder matches. So I've been a part of I've been a part of 5 women's ladder matches, which I guess is a record, and most women's WrestleMania matches, and most submission wins of any man or woman in WWE.
That's
So when I
amazing.
found that out, I was like, wait, I'm gonna Google this. I gotta make sure this is right. Apparently, I'm at the top of the list. Um, it's cool because I didn't know I had won that many matches by submission, but I guess I have more than any
Yeah.
other man or woman. So Rhonda and Shayna better get ready for me to tap and snap a
I
few
love
limbs
it.
from them.
I love it. I love it. So obviously, I mean, you've been doing this for a while. You obviously love it. What is it about this business that keeps you coming back to it? Because not only of the fact is not only do you have longevity on your side with this remarkable career, but consistently performing at a high level, which can't be easy, as you've seen, competition come and go, but you've been consistently strong in your craft. So what is it about this that just keeps you coming back for more?
I mean, for me, I love what I do, and I love being able to work with. So you're getting my husband in the background as well. I I'll get him to say hi at some
Yeah.
point. But I love what I do, and I love the women that I work with, and I love being able to collaborate with people that share my same passion. And it's
Mhm.
funny because last week I had wrestled Zoe Stark on Monday Night Raw, and she's the 55th woman that I've wrestled in WWE, and I thought that was so cool because
Yeah.
I've had a chance to work with so many different women from so many different walks of life that share my same passion,
Mhm.
and my love for this industry and my love for WWE. So I'm very, very lucky that I've had the chance to work with so many cool people and be a part of so many firsts. I was a part of the first ever women's Royal Rumble, part of the first ever women's ladder match, part of the first ever women's table match, part of the first
Mhm.
ever women's match in Saudi Arabia. Where we made history as the first women to compete over there. And there's just so many things that I've done in my career that have been special, but there's still so many things I want to do. There's 2 brand new women's championships in WWE that I haven't won. So one of those being on Rhea Ripley right now. So there's still goals that I have in mind, and still a lot of women that I'd love to work with.
Now, one of the things I think that you can definitely speak to, with your seniority, if you will, is the fact that when we look at the evolution of women's wrestling, it has come such a long way from in terms of looking before, in terms of like off matches like bra and panty matches and those types of things, to up to and including main eventing WrestleMania. So as somebody who's been along for that journey, and tell me about your thoughts as we've seen that evolution just skyrocket and go to places that years ago we didn't think we would see women main eventing WrestleMania, but extremely well deserved. I mean, it made the most sense. So as you've seen that evolution transpire, tell me about your thoughts and your feelings about that.
It's just cool to see that over time we've been allowed as women to take an important role in the company. And the women, are becoming more equal to the men, so that it's not like, I was saying this the other day to somebody, when you hear the women are going to main event WrestleMania, it was like a big deal. And
Mhm.
granted, it still is a very big deal because we've only seen 2 women's main events at WrestleMania, but we want to normalize, oh, the girls are main eventing WrestleMania this year.
Mhm.
I want that to become a normal thing. Same thing with like when you first heard this is the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match. It was like a really big deal. And again, to be a part of that match is a really big deal, but it's becoming normal where it's like the women are doing Money in the Bank ladder matches. The women are main eventing WrestleMania. The women are part of Royal Rumble. The women are, main eventing Hell in a Cell. They're main eventing Raw. They're main eventing SmackDown. They're main eventing live events. That we want to normalize all of that because that's what the men have done, is that, it's become normal for them. So we are breaking down so many barriers still. We have these brand new women's championships introduced to WWE. We've seen a lot of growth from the bra and panties matches to, women like Trish Stratus and Lita paving the way for the women of today. Even women like Beth Phoenix, Melina, Mickie James, the things that they did, when we were part of the Divas era, where, they were breaking ground then. And then we saw the women's revolution in WWE. And I'm so proud to be a part of many of those different eras in WWE. The women's revolution being one of them. Triple H gave me this huge honor to compete against Charlotte Flair in the very first ever takeover, which, the takeover events for NXT, as we know, are very special. But being a part of that match, it's still one of the most special moments of my career because it was an opportunity that Triple H was like, listen, I want you to come down and do this match. And I took it as such this is a massive opportunity to show that the time that I might not be getting at TV on Raw or SmackDown, I can show what I can do at NXT. And it was around the same time that Charlotte and Sasha and Becky and Bayley and so many of these women were trying to break ground down there. And so that was a defining moment for me in the women's evolution, because we had a match that was over 20 minutes long, which is unheard of for the girls. And we really stole the show in the sense that nobody was expecting it. We didn't have a long story. But we were given time. And Triple H, he said to me, he's like, you don't have a time limit. You can just do what you want to do. And it was the first time in my career that anybody said to me, just be Natty. Just do what you want to do and just take control and just make this match the best it can be. And let's show the world what you and Charlotte can do. And so that to me was to be a part of that initial phase of the women's revolution in WWE. I think it was part of that groundbreaking success that is transcending today.
No, and I agree. I'm happy that we're drifting into a place where these moments are becoming like a thing, and in terms of why wouldn't there be a women's Money in the Bank match? Why wouldn't there be, as opposed to it being more of a celebratory moment, which is again justified, but at the same token that we're drifting it to becoming more of the norm. So I totally agree with you there. So I want to ask, there's going to be two different types of people that come to see wrestling live when it returns here in Ottawa. Those who've seen it live before and those who haven't. I want you to speak to those who haven't. What can they expect by seeing this amazing production live and in person?
Well, and that's a great question. Our live shows are incredible. I always say, expect the unexpected. You never know who's going to show up. You get a more up close and intimate experience with us as talent, as superstars. Where it's like at television tapings, sometimes it's tricky when you're on Raw or SmackDown and the camera's in your face and you're cutting a promo. You can't always go and high five somebody in the crowd or take a selfie or give them your shirt or your merch shirt. Or, I love putting my sunglasses on somebody in the front row. And I just feel like it's a much more interactive experience to be a part of the live show. And especially in comparison to watching it on television, but you never know who's going to show up. Always expect the unexpected. And it's kind of like the Olympics meets a rock concert in the sense of that crazy energy where, you're going to get all sorts of fireworks, so to speak. But really the best part of it is the interaction that you're going to get with the WWE superstars in the audience. And that's my favorite part. Even from the minute that I walk into the building, if I ever see that there's fans outside, our fans are such a special part of our show. I always try to make time to go and take pictures with them and meet with them. And because you never know when you're going to get a chance to see them again. And vice versa. So that might be the one moment that they met Natalya and they'll remember that for the rest of their life. And it'll be something that maybe draws them into watching our programming again or coming to one of our shows again, is that intimate experience they got with us.
No, I agree. And I'm not just trying to butter you up because you're here, but I would be hard pressed to find somebody who doesn't engage with the fans better than you, because I've seen it multiple times being a lifelong fan, seeing you at ringside, especially with young girls and young boys. And you're just such a fantastic ambassador to this company. So thank you for that.
Thank you so
Listen,
much.
absolutely welcome. I want to be respectful of your time because I know you've got other people, maybe not as cool, but other people to talk to today. So I want to drift into a little something I like to call a rapid fire. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and just the first thing that comes to your mind, we're going to go with it. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Your favorite movie of all time, and if you can't think of
Shawshank
one,
Redemption.
okay, perfect. I love how you had that ready, and that's usually on most people's list. What is the favorite match that you were in?
Favorite match that I was in? My match against Lacey Evans in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, amazing. Favorite match that you weren't in?
Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair, the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah, that was a classic. Absolutely. You were on a show called Total Divas, which gave people an inside look into the lives of a lot of the WWE female superstars. Do you miss that show?
Yes, I love that show.
Okay.
Miss it, love it.
Okay. Now, it is well documented that you are a cat person. Do you have any love for the dogs, though?
I love dogs, but I'm a cat person all the way.
Okay. Okay. Fair. Being a native of Calgary, when is the last time you had an opportunity to go to either a Stampeders game or a Calgary Flames game?
Ooh, never. I've never gone to either.
What? Ever? Oh,
I never
Natalia.
went to a lot of like sporting events.
I mean, listen, you're a big deal, so I can appreciate you probably need like armed security going in with you, so you're not just taking pictures all day. But never, Natalia, that's something you need to work on. There is no doubt. Moving on to my next question, there is no doubt that Roman Reigns is extremely talented and wonderful. But like a lot of us, are you getting a little tired of Roman Reigns as champion? Would you like to see a change?
I mean, here's the thing about Roman, numbers don't lie.
Yeah,
He every time he's on, our ratings are through the roof.
yeah,
And he also, this might break character a little bit, but he also with the bloodline, the thing
yeah.
that's so special about the bloodline and Roman and how it's all worked out is that so many people are involved. And I
Mhm.
love that Roman, I love that so many people can be built off of the bloodline. But
Mhm.
Roman, listen, numbers don't lie. He's part of one of the most successful storylines and one of the most successful times ever in
Yeah.
WWE history. This is the most money-making time the company has ever seen, and he's at the top. He's literally at the head of the table.
Yeah, literally. There are t-shirts that say just that, just that. And again, I asked that in jest. A very, very entertaining superstar, very charismatic. And I think when the last time there was a live show in Ottawa, not the Monday Night Raw show, but before that, there was a live show. And I think fans got to see, because Paul Heyman wasn't there, a different side of his character. So to your point, you never know what you're going to get at these live shows. This is why you need to go to this upcoming show in Ottawa. So I totally agree. The last question I will ask you before I let you get out of here is, if you could look into a crystal ball, what is something that you're hoping to see for yourself in WWE over the next several months?
I'm looking for an incredible storyline. I think that the biggest and most special part of what we do in WWE is we tell stories. And so, as much as I want to rebuild myself, especially coming off of Night of Champions with Rhea, which was such a shocking loss to me. And I know that a lot of people have mentioned, like, hey, Dominic was involved and don't be so hard on yourself. And I know that there was two of them out there, and it is what it is. But for me, the biggest, most challenging part of what we do is being able to capture the moments and stories. And I'd love to become the women's champion again one day, but the storylines are everything. And that's the exciting part of what we do in WWE. And you look at like the most compelling stuff that we've seen on our show in recent months. I mean, it's undeniable, but the bloodline stuff.
Mhm.
As a fan, even though I'm part of WWE and I'm really deeply embedded in the company, watching the product as a fan, watching the bloodline storyline play out as a fan, it made me really long for that for the women.
Yeah,
For the
absolutely.
women to have a deep, deep, deep storyline that we are craving.
Mhm.
And so, like, I know Roman Reigns is an entity and he's very, very, very special, but I think that would be so cool to be a part of a story that is magical and that brings out the best in me as a good girl, good guy, baby face, as we say in pro wrestling, and then also brings out the most magical part of a villain.
Yeah.
And that's what we saw again in the bloodline. And I'm craving that, wanting that, longing that for the girls. And I know that it's right around the corner. And I'm excited for that because there's so many incredibly talented women on the Raw women's roster alone. We look at, Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, Casey and Kaden, myself, Piper Niven, Nikki Cross, Dana Brooke, just trying to think, Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark. We have the, legend coming back, Trish Stratus. She's part of our Raw women's roster as far as I know. And we have so many talented women. I don't want to forget anyone, but
no, there's obviously a lot. And again,
we have a time constraint, but like for me, I just am excited to see us get storylines, especially working within the amazing women that we have. And hopefully we'll get that.
Absolutely. Natalya, thank you so much for the time today. Wish you nothing but continued success. Thank you again for everything that you do as a fan. I love watching it and wishing you all the best. You take care, okay?
Thank you so much. You too.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Natalya. You take care, okay? Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Keith.
Okay, bye now.